And we live. Cool. Hey everybody, welcome to another chat with the Village Guide. For those of you joining for the first time, this is of course just where we chat to people from Paul and Wellington, doing amazing things, following their passion and working hard at their dreams. And one of these people is of course Garth, a pro. He doesn't really need any introduction in our community. He's been in rugby from very young. So I just thought it'd be cool just to chat to him a bit about how's lockdown treating a rugby player, how's he keeping fit. Also chat about life in Japan and did he leave Japan just in time before the lockdown, the borders there. And also his new club, apparently signed for a new club. We're just going to speak about that. So Garth, all good?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Cool, man. How's lockdown treating you? Are you keeping fit? Are you jogging between 6 and 9? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's been frustrating, to be honest. I mean, to do all the stuff indoors and all that is it's frustrating, but I'm keeping myself busy, trying to exercise. But it's obviously not the same as the usual. But yeah, I've been jogging from 6 to like 8 o'clock in the morning, a little bit.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's actually hard to get up like right now to do that. But yeah, I'm training, keeping myself fit, and yeah, it's been good.
Cool. So tell me a bit about Japan now. Did you leave just in time? Were you allowed to leave before you left? Or how did it work? How does it work in Japan? Because, of course, you were still playing rugby and they put on lockdown.
Yeah, no, actually, we were in Australia at the time when I came back to South Africa. Because, yeah, after 2 games in Japan, we went to Australia on tour to play the Reds in the Brumbies. And then obviously the lockdown or the Corona thing came out and we couldn't get back in Japan. So we spent another like 4 weeks at least in Australia. So yeah, luckily I was in Australia at the time of when everything just shut down. And then we actually got to get back in South Africa before the lockdown, yeah. So yeah, we were actually in Australia at the time.
Okay, cool. So tell me why were you playing in Japan? I mean, I see you played for the Sunwolves and then you played for the Shining Cirques, and now you've got a new team. Is there a love for Japan, or what? Is there love for Japan, or what?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the type of rugby I play or the type of game I play, I like playing in Japan because, like I said before, it's quick and it's fast and it's not as physical. And yeah, I like. Well, at the start when I came in Japan, it was hard with the culture and being away from home and everything like that. But I got used to it quickly, and then I started liking it. Yeah, so yeah, for me, Japan is like a second home to me now.
Are we fluent in Japan? I mean, are we saying possible
No,
in
no,
Japan
no, no,
already?
not at all, not at all. I'm still learning, but it's hard, because you they set you up for like 3 or 4 classes a week. Um, by the time I get to the fourth class, I forgot about everything I learned in the first class. So, so yeah, it's hard, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh, okay, cool. So tell me quickly just a bit about your background. Of course, you've been playing from a very young age. When was the first? I mean, you played Craven Week, you played SAA. Give me like a 5-minute summary of where you started until now.
Yeah, so obviously from a young age, started kicking the ball in the backyard at probably the age of 9. Um, yeah, I was lucky to attend like proper primary schools, like obviously in Wellington, St. Albans, and they are good sporting primary schools. So yeah, and then I played Craven Week under 13 for Boland. I went to Paul Jump for my first 2 high school years, but that didn't work out. I returned back to Wellington to Berg River. I played Craven Week under Rankomo Week under 16 for Boland. I played under 18 Craven Week for Boland, and then my last year, my matric year, I went to Florida in Johannesburg, which is under the Lions. So I signed the free contract with the Lions. So then, yeah, the next year I played under 19. So I think that's when I started. When like I'm missing home and all that. So away from home at a young age was pretty hard for me. Yeah, and I got injured in my first under 19 year with a shoulder. I was out for like 6 months,
Okay.
and I got back in 2010, my second year under 19. Um, I got injured again with my shoulder, out for another 6 months, and then yeah, it was starting to go downhill. It wasn't nice for me to being away from home and injured, and I couldn't play. And from like if you're young, you just want to be on the field and you just want to play and all that. And then in 2012, I returned back to Wellington to play for Poland. Signed a 1 year deal with Poland, and then I played. I think I played 2 or 3 games, and I injured my knee, ACL, which is out for a long time, 9 months. Yeah, and I got surgery. I was out of
Wow.
contract. Yeah, I didn't have income at all. So I went back to play club rugby in Durbanville, which is
Okay.
Durbell, call it Durbell. Yeah, when I got there, it was also a difficult time at the start because I was getting injured all the time. I was still scared of my knee. I didn't play well. I played second team, and yeah, and like eventually I got over the injury and all that, and then I played first team. I played Community Cup in 2015 for Durbell, and luckily I played well enough to get a call up to Western Province, and then yeah, so I played like I think 2 World Cup games at Province as well, and then the Sharks came with an offer, and then I went to Durban, spent 4 years in Durban with the Sharks. I think that's where my career picked up again, making my Currie Cup debut that same year, and the next year making my Currie Cup, my Super Rugby debut. I was selected for the Box that same year, the Springbok squad in 2016. I played SAA, like you said, that same year. And then, unfortunately, I didn't get a test cap. But it was nice just to be part of the squad for like a month and just to see how they do things and all that. But I was gutted that I didn't get a test cap because obviously every rugby player in South Africa want to play for the Springboks. But obviously that didn't work out. So I went back to the Sharks, worked hard, and then yeah, I got injured again. I was out for 4 months, and then yeah, things went a little bit downwards again. Wasn't getting selected for Super Rugby and all that. So yeah, and then I decided to go to Japan, it at the time it was for me it was the perfect timing in terms of getting something new, starting something new, and then yeah. So like I said, I wasn't at the time wasn't getting back at the Sharks anyways. Yeah, I just thought, man, I need something new, I need something else, and then yeah, I signed for NTT Shining Arts for 6 months, and then um, yeah, I played well. I played pretty well. I enjoyed the rugby there. Like I said, it's quick and fast, and it suits my game. Very nice. Um, and I returned back to South Africa with a shoulder injury. So I signed for the Bulls initially for 6 months. After that, after signing arts, and then I went for medical. So I got injured in Japan and then came back to South Africa with this injury. And the Bulls sent me for a medical, and I failed the medical basically. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so they said I must get another operation on my shoulder, and it's gonna keep me out for 6 months. And that was my contract duration with the Bulls. So yeah, I didn't play any of last year. I played the last game I actually played last year was for NTT in January, I think. That was the game I got injured. So I got back to South Africa. The Bulls sent me for medical. I failed the medical. And
Oh,
then I had surgery again. I was out for 6 months, so I didn't play any rugby last year at all. Um, and then, yeah, so that was, I think, a blessing in disguise, to be honest, because it time to, um, gave me time to reflect on things and get my body strong and mentally, just to sit back a little bit and think about things. Um, yeah, so then the end of last year, the Sunwolves came up and they say, listen, they want me to come to Japan again to play for Sunwolves, play a little bit of Super Rugby and all that. And I didn't think twice because, like I said, I've been used to the Japanese culture now. And yeah, so then I went, and yeah, I mean, I played well for the Sunwolves, and obviously this pandemic came, and then everything just stopped. Yeah. So yeah, and the reason for me, like in South Africa, I would like to play in South Africa again one day. But I mean, I'm getting old, so
Yeah,
sometimes it doesn't happen like that. Yeah,
yeah,
but the reason for me playing overseas is definitely because I want to look after myself after rugby. You know what I'm like. You play rugby for 12, 13 years professionally, and then you finish at the age of 34, and then you've got another 30 years to live. So you got to look after yourself, and obviously the money is a little bit better on that side as it is in South Africa. So yeah, that's basically why I choose to play abroad, and then
yeah.
obviously rugby I enjoy as well.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. I just like the what I would really like to know would be interesting for me to understand like your the mental toughness of a professional rugby player that gets injured, has ups and downs. I mean, you started very young. How I mean, the mental toughness. How important is that? I mean, you've been playing for a long time now. You have young rugby players that get contracts very early in their life, injured, out for. So I mean, just for you because you could understand your whole story is an up and down story.
Yeah, yeah. I think my story is specifically very interesting because, yeah, like I said, you gotta be mentally tough. So I had all these injuries at the young age, and like I think you can even like just say I'm gonna stop playing rugby because I don't want to get injured again. But because you love the game and you want to play the game, you push through and you're still young and you wanna achieve something. And for me, all my injuries came at a like the timing was very bad. As I was always when I was on the up and I'm playing well and then I get injured and. So yeah, you gotta be mentally tough. And it's not just about injuries. Like obviously, with rugby, you're on a contract and the coaches needs to back you. You needs to play, otherwise you fell off the radar or you know what I mean. So there's a lot of things that goes with being a professional sportsman and being mentally tough. Because yeah, like I said, it's not just the injuries; it's everything else. Like you need the coaches to be back you. You need to work hard every day. You need to look after yourself. So yeah, that's all mental stuff. So yeah, you
Uh,
gotta be mentally tough.
yeah. Did you have like a support system? Do you have people like when you're down? Who do you speak to? I mean, is this like? Of course, you can need guidance somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. My parents and my three older brothers, they're always there when
Okay.
I need them. They've always been there. They support me through the way. They always gives me words of encouragement. Um, my mom is very hard on me in terms of religious stuff. Need to pray. Always need to pray for something, and you have to look after yourself and all that. So yeah, my support system has always been solid. I will always turn back to them when things are not going well. And even if they do go well, they're always there as well. So yeah, my support system is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe just to give some of the youngsters some guidance, like you said, finances for professional rugby players up and down. So, what advice? Because you've been in it for quite some time. What advice would you give a likey that starts playing professional rugby now? Like you said, you play until 34. You have 30 years still to live. We've seen a lot of professional rugby players get professional contracts and then they just disappear off the face of the planet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I would probably say from a young age, like I mean, it's just you need to save money, because you you're not guaranteed that you're gonna play for 10 years or 12 years or 15 years. So yeah, I think just use your money wisely as a rugby player because like I said, for me, I've seen, like you said, I've seen people play for the Springboks for a long time, and then they finish their career and they have nothing after that. So yeah, you're gonna use your money wisely for the 12 years you're gonna play professionally, and yeah, just save, invest, or
Mm,
something like that. Just something to give you something to fall back on
mm.
when you're finishing your playing career. So yeah, I think just use your money wisely.
Yeah, yeah. And then so we are playing in Japan. Do we still have hopes of getting a Springbok call up?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, if you're a South African rugby playing boy or whatever, you always want to play for the Springboks, you know. Um, I was fortunate
Mm,
enough, like I said, to be in a squad in 2016. I didn't get a cap,
mm,
unfortunately, but um, yeah, I'm not gonna get my hopes up at all. You know, I thought maybe in
mm,
this year's Super Rugby, if I can play well and maybe I can return back to South Africa after that and then have a go. But yeah, I mean, you will always have that. I want to play for the Springboks, you know, and
mm,
sometimes it's something that you need to accept for if you're not gonna get there,
mm,
and then yeah, you just, I mean, for me right now, I'm turning 29 this year, so and I'm
mm,
probably gonna play in Japan for another 2 or 3 years, which is difficult to get in the Springbok squad if you're the Springbok setup if you're outside of South Africa and you haven't been in the Springbok squad or you haven't ever had a test cap or
mm.
something like that, you know. So yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up, but like I said, you never know what can happen. I will always want to play for the Springboks until the day I finish my rugby career. So yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'll always want to be there.
So give me your biggest highlight of your rugby career, or your pinch myself moment, saying, "Your Garth, this is really happening to me today."
Um, yeah, I think it was probably the day when I was announcing the Springbok squad.
Mm,
That was probably my biggest, yeah, highlight of my career. To be honest, I was playing my best rugby at the time, I would think. Um, yeah, I mean, just to be part of guys who've been there, have done that, you know. And even
mm,
at the Sharks, when I got there, I was still obviously still young, and yeah, I'm around these guys, Bismarck and Peterson and all these people, you know. You've been watching them on
mm,
TV for a long, long time.
mm,
You want to be like them and all that. So yeah, I mean, I was actually sharing in our changing room at the Sharks. I was actually sitting next to Beast, so his
Oh
locker
wow.
was right next to mine, and then I was like, daily,
Yeah.
am I really sitting next to this guy who's been, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, those are moments that I will always cherish. Like, I mean, I will
Mm,
always keep that in the back of my mind.
mm,
I've got a very soft and loving place for the Sharks in my heart. They've done so much for me.
mm,
So yeah, I mean, to be
mm.
named in the Springbok squad was probably the highlight of my career right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me something. With your experience of rugby, is there something missing between schoolboy rugby and becoming a professional rugby player? In the sense of, is there something that could make the leap over much better in terms of development for kids? I mean, is there something missing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I um did the transmission from school rugby to professional rugby, it was different that time as in now. Like the school rugby that time wasn't as, it was just schoolboy rugby, you know. And
Mm,
nowadays it's more like type of semi-professional. You
mm,
know,
mm,
they almost set you up for when you finish school rugby and you get into the professional era. In terms of you're getting gym equipment at school, um, you're getting technical coaches and all that. So it's not like it's not the teachers that coaches the schoolboys anymore. It's like coaches from outside, you know. So they
mm,
basically set you up for after that. But I mean, like you said, in South African schoolboy rugby, it's very competitive. So not every schoolboy can play professional rugby, you know. So that's why the guys they play Week, they play SC schools, they play maybe 1 or 2 years under 19 and 21, and then they just disappear off the radar. I think that's
mm,
because there's too many good players, many schoolboy players that's very good. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's very difficult to tell
Mm.
because
Mm.
competitiveness of the schoolboy rugby is different now. Yeah, to when I
Yeah.
played.
Okay. What's the biggest lesson you learned as a professional rugby player? Yeah, your biggest lesson.
Um, I would say so. For me, it was always on. I just wanted to play. I've got raw talent, and
Mm.
talent it is. You just go on talent. You know
Mm.
you're gonna do everything with your talent.
Mm.
But the lesson I've learned about talent is that you're not gonna make it just with talent. You gotta work hard. You have to put in the hours. You have to put in the work. You have to do everything
Mm.
except for just going on talent. So
Mm.
that I think at the start of my professional career, I was very naive to think that
Mm.
on pure talent I'm gonna make it on to the top. But that's not the
Mm.
point. I mean, you have to
Mm.
work hard. You have to sacrifice. You have to put in the hours. You have to
Mm.
do all those things. Being away
Mm.
from home from a young age is sacrifice to get to the top. So yeah, I mean, you have to work hard, except for just raw talent.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, Garth, I've got 10 quick questions just to know you a bit better here. You just answer what comes to your mind as soon as possible. So,
Okay.
supper with three people, they could be dead or alive. Who would be next to you on the table? Three people.
Kevin Hart, Tiger Woods, and Dan Carter.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Last movie you cried in?
Titanic.
If you could play any instrument, what instrument would it be? And in which band would you want to be playing that instrument?
Um, I don't know, probably a guitar. Um,
Okay.
for the Bee Gees.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Actor and actress. Actor and actress next to you in a movie. Who's the actor and who's the actress?
Um, actor would be Kevin Hart, and actress would be Jessica Alba.
Okay, nice, nice. If you had your there's a billboard up. What is the main road in Wellington? Kerkstraat. There's a billboard up, and Garth April's face is there with a speech bubble. What would you want to tell the world every day when they drive past it?
Um, I don't know. I would probably just say, um, just keep on looking forward. Don't look back.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
just live your day life daily, and
mm.
yeah, it's that's pretty much it. I'm not like a very good emotional. What? How do you say it? Motivational speaker.
Motivational.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, what is your fondest childhood memory?
Um, I don't know. I can't. Um, yes, I don't know. I've got many. Nah, I can't really remember though.
Is that
Fondest child memory.
your
I
first
don't know.
try for St. Almost Primary?
Yeah, something like it's probably something to do with rugby.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Superpower and why?
Um, I don't know. I would probably like to fly just to
Okay.
get to places quicker because I hate sitting in traffic.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and then lastly, you in the Stadsaal in Wellington, you've got 40 young aspiring rugby players, children from different schools, and they come to your talk and they ask you, Garth, what? Give us some advice. How can we also make it as much as high as you have made it?
Yeah, I would probably say just work
Hmm.
hard, work very hard on whatever you want to be. Stay focused. Um, put in the sacrifices because there's gonna be a lot of sacrifices, and then
Hmm.
you're gonna look back one day and say, "Well, I've put in the work, so I deserve this." So yeah, I would basically just say, work hard and sacrifice.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And lastly, are we on series? Do we binge watch series? And what series should the world be watching?
No, I'm actually not watching series though. I'm playing a
Okay.
lot of PlayStation, playing golf, playing games. Yeah. No, I don't
Okay.
like to
Cool.
watch TV.
So when are we leaving back to Japan? How does this rugby work? How does this rugby's year work?
Um, yeah, so basically, like with the Sunwolves, I think our season is over because Australia and New Zealand, they're gonna have their own little competition in the country, and we were in Australian conference. So yeah, Super Rugby was basically over. So I'm done with Sunwolves. Um, I'm just waiting on this lockdown to ease down. So then I'll probably fly to Japan around mid June next month. Yeah,
Mm,
mid June. Yeah,
mm.
so then yeah, I'll get back to things again.
Okay, dude. But thanks so much for your time. I mean, it was really interesting, valuable conversation.
No problem, my friend. Anytime.
Yeah, and all the best for what's the new team's name? Blue Sharks.
Shimizu Blue Sharks. Yeah.
Okay, so when you go back in June, you go back to the Blue Sharks.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. So all the best with the Blue Sharks. It's almost like the Blue Bulls and the Sharks. Oh, you said you have a soft spot for Sharks. That's why you're back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Sharks.
Yeah, so all the best for Japan, and hopefully you guys can leave in July. Doesn't look like it, but
Yeah.
thanks so much for your time, dude. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime. Thanks, man.
Okay, thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks. Yes, bro.